everyone, and welcome to theCUBE's Tech Innovation Cubed Awards. I'm your host, Rebecca Knight, and we are honoring the winners of our inaugural program that highlights the innovation and incredible creativity that's taking place across the technology landscape. Today, I would like to welcome back to the show Rick Farnell, the CEO of Tracer, and the winner of the top AI-enabled product in retail and e-commerce for its Flora, which is an AI-powered agent that protects brands and consumers online. Welcome and congrats, Rick.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So I want you to start, before we get into the nuts and bolts of Flora, why don't you start by painting a picture for our viewers about the rise of AI-driven fraud and where we are. There's an incredible statistic about the FTC reporting that business imposter scams are the most frequent form of imposter fraud, with consumers losing a reported $752 million in 2023.
Yeah, it's a great place to start. I think that there is a war for authenticity on the digital, universe today. So social media, websites, mobile apps, paid search, driving people to different areas. And simply put, brands are fighting for their life, and they have to utilize much more sophisticated AI capabilities in order to keep up with the threats that are coming after their consumers. So at Tracer, we've really built a custom specific approach for using our own large language model, our own computer vision capabilities, proprietary ways in which we can be 24/7 really fighting that war with our brand to create that authenticity for billions of consumers.
Okay, so you painted this, frankly, very frightening picture of this war that's taking place, because we think about cybersecurity on one level in terms of the hackers that are trying to get in, but you're focused on brand protection.
It's a really important differentiation. The Rightfully so, over the past probably 10 years, the cybersecurity industry itself is close to $1 trillion market, and its kind of main tenets is protecting the actual assets of brands. So their cloud-based infrastructures, their data centers, their call centers, their data, and that is massively important. But brand protection is really external cybersecurity. So what we're focused on at Tracer, along with our, our competitors in the space, we're all in this together, is trying to find the bad guys that are out there that have no intention of ever trying to get into some of our customers and steal their data or encrypt it and hold them hostage, et cetera. It's they're standing up websites, infrastructure, mobile apps, social media strategies, paid advertising strategies to basically generate excitement for consumers to interact with those assets. And that's where they're committing fraud, stealing their identities, selling counterfeit product, and doing all their nefarious activity. So it's a really alarming piece of the overall cybersecurity market that I think over the next 3-5 years is going to become a massive opportunity. And that's why at Tracer, we're really, really excited about the approach that we're taking.
Because it is often overlooked, but it can do just as much damage. So why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about Flora and how its technology compares to other brand protection systems?
Yeah, and I can even use it comparing to ourselves. So back 3 years ago, I came in, I was brought in by our venture capital sponsors here at the company to take an AI first approach at everything that we're doing. So really, instead of a rules-based system with a lot of wonderful human beings doing some great work, we really needed to step up our game to utilize techniques like our own, generative AI, synthetic data for model training, computer vision capabilities for looking at imagery and images across short form video and images across the web, to utilizing networking graph to correlate attacks that we're seeing where some of the bad guys use very unique techniques to try to not be tied together, but we can see that with other patterns that we focus on. Econometric models for us to help our customers maximize their spend in the areas that they need to, whether it's geographic on the planet or by channel. So they might have a mobile app challenge versus a social media challenge. And then using natural language processing for us as a company using Flora to pre-populate a lot of the fields that used to take human brains in order to populate those. We're able to take that. And as a result, our accuracy has gone through the roof. Our coverage now across the planet is second to none in the industry. And really the ultimate thing that we measure is time to live of these threats that are out there to consumers. So our time to live as a result of everything that I just talked about, we've already reduced that by 80%. And we think, we can get that down into, kind of minutes and hours. We're kind of in the days time frame now. So it's really exciting to see the change that we've been able to make in our own business, and our customers are really valuing our approach of using AI.
So, what are some specific examples of this? Because this whole time to live idea is really interesting. Can you provide some examples of how Flora has addressed these challenges?
Absolutely. So time to live is if there is a website out there with a bad actor and they're trying to commit fraud, or they're trying to have you engage with what you think is a payment mechanism, and you think that you're purchasing a legitimate product or service, and you go into the payment mechanism and you enter information, and you're basically just handing over information. We're able to see first the pages that the bad actors are using to try to get people to go to them. So we're tracking their social media strategies for driving traffic to those pages. We're tracking their paid advertising, trying to drive traffic, just like a normal brand would, right? A brand is going to have a for-profit, for good use of generating traffic to those environments. The bad guys use the same techniques. So we are hunting down those techniques. We're watching, we're listening. And then as soon as they put up that payment stuff, we kind of know that there's a change to the website. We then go and work to take that down. And quite simply, as soon as we can see it, that it is, a fraud. And then as soon as we can take it down, that is that time to live. So every minute that that website is up, in this case, that can potentially do harm to thousands and thousands of consumers. So if we can shave, minutes off of that, let alone days, we're really protecting that brand from this bad actor, using their good name to prey upon their consumers and customers.
So, all of this requires you and your team to stay one, two, three, 5 steps ahead of the bad guys because they're just going to come up with more tricks to hoodwink innocent consumers. So, how, as a leader, do you do that?
I think the techniques that we're using across the company, we're able to see patterns with some brands and some geographies and some use cases, let's call them. So fraud or counterfeit products, or credential theft, or fake job scams, and the patterns that we see that a bad actor is taking, attacking one of our customers. That pattern we can kind of replicate across all of our other customers instantly. Whereas in years past, when we weren't so automated and utilizing AI at its fullest, we were able to have we had to pass that knowledge amongst human beings, and then they would have to be able to see it and look for those things. So the response time of our capabilities to recognize patterns that exist in either industries or geographies or platforms or use cases is lightning fast. So once we see a pattern, we can kind of quickly share that with all the models and algorithms that are kind of crunching and munching, protecting our consumers and our brands.
So, what are some of the measurable results that your customers have seen since adopting Flora, especially in terms of that time to live and the takedown speeds?
So I think we'll start with kind of coverage. Our coverage out there of the digital universe has gone through the roof. So I think right now we're close to 95% coverage of the global traffic that exists out there digitally. And just that stat is amazing. So that's number one. We have the ability to cast a much wider net as a result of our tracing capabilities across websites, domains, mobile apps, paid search, social media, and marketplaces. That's number one. Number two, our review time. So our ability to review things that are coming in, rinse that through Flora so that it can make a very, very fast determination based on our customers' directives. Is this authentic or is it not? That time has increased. It's close to 2000%, because before that was all kind of human driven, experts nonetheless, but still human driven. So we're doing that with software. Then you take our ability to fill out and interact with the platforms themselves, our platform partnership relationships. We're able to utilize Flora to pre-populate all that information. And there, so again, we're talking hundreds of percentiles different and more accurate. And then when you ultimately look at that time to live, that's 80% right now. And in every single day, we're shaving off, minutes and hours on that. So we're getting, what I would consider kind of world-class speed in the cybersecurity space, but bringing that to brand protection.
Okay. So, in what ways is your approach to automated threat detection improving the scalability of brand protection efforts for large companies?
So large companies have the bigger the company, the bigger their problems, right? They typically have much more brand notoriety in their markets. So the bad actors have ways in which to utilize different techniques on different channels and in different geographies. So the bigger the brand, the bigger the problem, as you might imagine. But we're seeing real results. So our return on investment for removing at least the sale of digital product for counterfeits, we're talking tens of millions, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars in an annual basis, where we are removing that product from being sold digitally. Now, we also share all that information back with our customers. They work with law enforcement and others to go physically get that product if it's counterfeit product, to then seize that product. But we are stopping the sale of this product globally. So for retail and e-commerce, I think the large customers and enterprises have a massive problem, but really we're focused. We want to utilize AI for good no matter how big you are. So even the smaller brands that are kind of cult oriented. So if you take new brands like Havaianas in the flip-flop space, Celsius is an energy drink. Are they as big as, Coca-Cola and some others? No, but they're certainly massive in scale. And then we have some smaller customers and smaller brands that should be able to enjoy the same digital protection and AI protection, just as our biggest customers like the Revlons of the world and the Church and Dwight's, some of the biggest brands in their categories. So really a tracer, that's been a big emphasis of ours over the last couple of years. Is we now have price points that can serve the biggest customers in their enterprises all the way down to smaller brands that may not have extensive teams, but they still deserve to protect their brand and create an authentic experience.
Rick, listening to you, my main question is, does the C-suite understand the severity of this potential issue?
Thank you for the platform. Brand protection over the next few years really has to get out of an after the fact. There already is a problem. Let's go try to take someone down because of a trademark violation, a patent violation, a trade dress, a copyright, infringement type things. We need to be much more proactive. The budget that really needs to come into this space at the C-suite level is not just cybersecurity executives. It is brand professionals themselves. It's marketing executives. It's the support organization. A lot of our customers see real costs with customers calling in because they purchase fake product. They're calling customer support. It's not their product. And then, you deal with replacement costs because someone thought that they bought a legitimate brand. You don't want to lose them as a customer. You got to send them out a legitimate product. So there's real business dollars and real business impact with what we do. And I think it needs to climb out of just the legal space and really enter much more of the C-suite conversation. This is a sales, this is product, this is distribution, this is channels, this is customer support. All of those things are impacted by the fraud and the things that are happening out there in the world.
So, for a lot of our winners, we are asking about the secret sauce. And I'd love to hear your thoughts about what has made Tracer so successful, and in particular, this product. What is it that you are helping your team accomplish and achieve in terms of innovation and creativity?
So really, it comes down to being maniacally focused on our brands. We live, eat, sleep, drink our customers' brands themselves. We need to wake up every single day, whether it's our software working 24/7 or our customer success managers and analysts that are working on those accounts. We have to be relentless at how we're deploying the use of technology in an offensive, maneuver to stay ahead of the bad guys. So it really comes down to that. I think that the customer service that we provide, the use of innovative technologies, our pricing model that truly is don't pay for noise, don't pay for hours of us, just looking at stuff. Only pay for the outcomes that you're looking for us to find. And then if we're going to take it down, pay for that. So our outcome-based pricing matched with our customer success and the use of innovative technologies, I think is a winning combination. And, we're just delivering more value to our customers every single day.
Well, it's a great story, Rick. Thank you so much for coming on the show, and congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I'm Rebecca Knight. Stay tuned for more of theCUBE's Tech Innovation CUBE Awards.